So we have Cinemaster Cinema Simulator, and a massive thank you to the guys at keymailer for giving me a key to play. And what we're going to do in this video is go through my review of the game, and I'm going to answer the question, is it worth buying? And we're going to start this one off by, basically just getting into the game. You start off as a level 0 cinema, and what you need to do in this game is run the checkout for a cinema, so you have to deal with tickets. You have to put people in the seats they selected, then you need to deal with their snacks and things, so they can come in and order a normal popcorn, a mega Coke. So you have to go and make those. You need to buy corn packs in order to fill up your popcorn machine. The drinks machine is basically unlimited. You just need to purchase the cups. And every time you make a popcorn or a drink, you have to actually pay for the cups. The cups aren't free, you can't order them. They all just sit there in the same place. They can't be moved or anything like that. And it's the same when you get further into the game and you get the 3D glasses. And on top of the popcorn and the drinks, you also have snacks. So you'll get things like candy bars, you will eventually get sandwiches, you get bottles of water, you get milk chocolate, dark chocolate. There's a decent variety when it comes to the snacks. And what you do is you play through the game, leveling up. Each level is going to unlock something new, whether it's decorations, vending machines, new snacks and things, unlock the ability to open up a new cinema room, and you even unlock the licenses to buy new movies. So you schedule the movies that you run in your cinema, you deal with all the tickets and everything, and then you can eventually start hiring staff. And staff are able to be hired very, very early in the game. The cleaner starts at level 1, and they will go in and not only clean your cinema rooms, but they will also turn the projectors on, which I think is a nice little touch. It basically means you never need to go in your cinema room again from level 1. And they'll do it with plenty of time left over, even running multiple rooms. Then when you level up, you get the restocker, and this is by far the worst member of staff in the entire game. The way this member of staff has been developed makes zero sense whatsoever. So what I did was spent money, money was tight at the start of the game. You're not earning a lot per cinema ticket, you don't have many snacks available, and the restocker is supposed to restock your shelves so that you don't run out of stuff. And it says that your restocker will come along when your product is low and they will make sure that you don't run out. However, what the game doesn't tell you is that if you buy the product yourself, the restocker will not touch it. The restocker is only going to restock items that they purchase themselves. And not only that, they will wait, they will happily wait until you are out of product, people are waiting, and then they will come along and restock. However, I still had troubles, and when I was running the place with no cashiers or anything, the restocker just wouldn't visit. I often had to go back to the cargo room and pick up orders myself. So the restocker is just a very, very weird member of staff. But you carry on playing, and this is all still before the cashier. The cashier is basically a game changer. But what you do is you keep leveling up, and you will eventually unlock cheese sauce. Now this cheese sauce goes on your popcorn, because you don't have sweet popcorn, you don't have salty popcorn. What you do is you start off with normal popcorn. It's literally just called popcorn, and then you go to cheese popcorn, then eventually you'll get caramel popcorn. But the way these sauces work are, it is very, very annoying. So basically you buy a sauce, you put it on your shelf, and I ended up moving it next to my popcorn machine. But what you do is, say someone comes in, they order a mega cheesy popcorn. You have to go over to the shelf where the popcorn cups are, you have to go and fill it up with popcorn, like normal one. Then what you have to do is place the popcorn cup with popcorn in on the counter. Once you've put that down, you then pick up your cheese sauce and you click on the popcorn cup. And that's going to turn it from a red popcorn cup to a yellow one. Then you put the cheese sauce back down on the counter, you pick up the cheesy popcorn, and then you go and put it on the counter to where you're serving the customer. It's a very, very convoluted system. There's no need for it to be like that. You could have your cheese sauce sat there. They could have coded it so that you can go and pick up a popcorn cup. You fill it up with popcorn. You just have the popcorn in your hand. You click on the cheese sauce and that converts it. It makes your customers impatient. And it's annoying to have to put the popcorn down, pick up the cheese sauce, click on the popcorn, put the cheese sauce down, pick up the popcorn, give it to the customer. It doesn't need to be that complex of a system, especially because you're eventually going to unlock not only cheese sauce and caramel sauce, but you'll eventually get a coffee machine with the different coffee cup sizes. So you're eventually going to have a lot to do in this game in terms of micromanaging. But it's okay, you've got staff, you've got cashiers. And when you get to level 3, you can hire your very first cashier. The staff are nice and cheap, but you can hire your first cashier, and what they do is they will not serve popcorn or drinks unless you have prepared it. The problem with that is, say you've started a day, you're on the first movie, so session 1, somebody comes in, they want a mega normal popcorn, you don't have one prepared on the side, your cashier is basically going to speed run that sale, so you are not going to have enough time to prepare the mega popcorn for the cashier to pick up. Because what you have to do is make up the popcorn, put it on the counter near the checkout bit, and then your cashier is going to pick it up and give it to them. There is no member of staff to make popcorn, to make drinks, and the cashier is far too fucking lazy to do it. They're like the equivalent of signing up to work in Aldi in the UK, to where you have to be scanning like 1,000 items an hour. Like, they're on a rapid speed run to get this customer service job done. And then what you can do is, as you level up even more, you open up new cinema rooms, you pay for the licenses for better movies. What you then do is you buy a second cashier, or should I say a second checkout. And I say that because when I bought the checkout, I was like, okay, this is now going to unlock the ability to get the second cashier, which is known as Cashier 1. I don't know why this game counts from 0. But when I purchased that checkout, is there any way to get a second cashier? No, absolutely not. They are entirely greyed out. And normally, it would be like an early access title that would be coming up soon. This is a full release. I have no idea what's going on with the other 2 cashiers, but at least in the version I got to play, which granted was an early version of the game, like I got it before release. I don't know if there's going to be updates and stuff or anything like that, but at least in the version I played, there is absolutely no way to hire Cashier 1 and Cashier 2, which should be Cashier 2 and Cashier 3. So if you purchase the other 2 checkouts, if you get far enough in the game and you buy them both, you are there having to run drinks, popcorn, coffee, and then you're having to run 2 checkouts at the same time for the possibility of up to 4 cinema screens. All whilst your restocker spends more time in the cargo room than what they do in your cinema, like behind the checkout. And not only that, it says with the restocker, they will have designated shelves for the items. Yeah, they basically just use any shelving unit. If you've put candy bars out nicely on the bottom shelf, then they're just going to chuck the candy bars they've bought on the top shelf. And that they mix and match all the shelves. It looks horrible. If you're actually running the checkouts, it makes it quite difficult to understand where everything is because it's always chopping and changing, like always. I do think it's good that the restocker will buy the product needed. I just don't like how they won't have the shelves actually packed full of stuff, and they will not use the things you've bought. They have to buy it on their own. And what I found with this game is that the moment you hire a cashier, all you have to do is go and stand by the little clock that's next to the soda cups. And all you have to do with that is just hold down your E button, interact with it, just let the days fly by, because your cashier is going to make money, 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 money. People are going to complain and say, I didn't get the snack I wanted, but the popularity means nothing in this game. You're still going to have plenty of customers coming in. You're still going to make loads of money from ticket sales. I stood there for an entire in-game day and I made about $8,000. Just literally just standing there holding down the button E. And it sounds as though I've just been negative throughout this whole thing, but there are some positives to this game. I like that your cleaner will run the projectors and do the cleaning, meaning you don't have to do any of that micromanaging. I like that your restocker will buy stock. There's just obviously other factors in that staff member that I don't like. I like how quick your cashiers work with the ticket sales. However, there either needs to be extra staff to make the popcorn and the sodas, or the cashier needs to get off their arse and do it themselves. And then one thing I haven't spoken about yet is you can actually upgrade your cinema rooms. And this is something else I like as well. So basically, you've opened up Cinema Room 2. You can go into the room manager. You can do it so that you've got your basic tickets, then you can upgrade them to go from $10 to $17.50 a ticket. And then if you've got $2,000 sitting around, you can get VIP tickets to where you can charge $30 a ticket and people are not going to complain. Your popularity is not going to have any change. And then what you can do is enable the ability to run 3D movies in that cinema room. And then you can increase the, I think it's the seat level, and then you can also do air conditioning, which is only going to boost your popularity. But it's the fact that there are upgrades to the cinema rooms, which I think is really, really good. And then you've got vending machines, which are passive income. People are going to buy a ticket, grab their snacks and stuff, and then maybe use a vending machine. You've got things like ticket booths, you've got gumball machines, and you've got like drinks and food vending machines. So there is quite a bit in the game. However, it's incredibly like micromanagey. There is a lot of the stuff you're going to have to do on your own, and I don't know why there are no Cashier 1 and 2, which again should be Cashier 2 and 3. And not only that, but I watched an entire playthrough of Cinema Simulator 2025, which is a different game, but it seems as though that is a lot more sort of like polished. There's been a lot more thought and effort put into that game than what there has in this one. Like, this one's got the potential, but it's just this one has a lot of flaws at the same time. And not only that, as I was speeding through the days, I did have a crash. I've not had a game crash on me in a little while now, but this one did crash, probably because the game couldn't keep up with what I was doing. So when it comes to the question, is it worth buying Cinemaster Cinema Simulator? I'm going to say not at the moment. I'm not going to say a straight up no, because there is entertainment there. It's a decent sort of cinema simulator game. But my recommendation would either be to wait and see how it further develops, if there's updates and stuff to fix some of the flaws with it, to see if there's additional things added to the game. And if you're that desperate for a cinema simulator, then there is Cinema Simulator 2025, which I would say out of the two is the better option. And it wasn't too long ago when Cinema Simulator 2025 launched, so it's not that old of a game either. So that is my recommendation, and again a massive thank you to keymailer for the key to play the game. And what we are going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about Cinemaster in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it.